Okay, so when should we expect the next baby to come? Okay, guys. Yo, guys, these questions though. Okay, these questions though. Oh my gosh. I don't even know where to begin, but I promise to answer every one of them, and here I am. So let's get started. Hi guys, welcome to my channel. I'm your girl Angelique, or Angie. So welcome to my channel. To everybody who is new, thank you so much for stopping by, and everyone who's returning for yet another time, thank you so much for your continuous support. It means the world to me. So today's video is going to be a Q&A from Instagram. So I asked you guys a few days ago to ask me a few questions, which I'll be answering on YouTube, and so you guys sent your questions in, and here we are. Guys, before we go on, like, some of these questions are pretty interesting, but I promised to answer each and every one of them, so here I am. Okay, I'll start with the first question. Where are you from and where do you live? Okay, so I am from Congo, DRC, Democratic Republic of Congo, and I live in Australia, Perth, Western Australia currently. Okay, second question. How long have you been married? Okay, so I got married pretty young, and I got married in 2015. I just celebrated my wedding anniversary a few days ago, which was pretty interesting being in quarantine, but I enjoyed every moment of it. So yeah, this year marked 5 years since I have been married, and I'm loving the journey. Oh, this is not really a question, but it just said, hope you're doing well and staying safe. Thank you so much. Yes, I am doing well. I'm feeling good and staying safe. Yes, I am, especially in these times, you know, with COVID-19. Crazy, weird, unusual times, but we're trying to do our best to stay safe, and yeah, so that we can make it past these times and, you know, look forward or look ahead to what's coming. How many children how many children do you think you'll have? Okay, so right now I think I'll have 3. It used to be 4. It used to be a minimum of 4. That was way before I got married and way before I started having kids. But obviously, once I did start having kids, that perspective changed because reality kind of hit. I absolutely love kids and I adore kids, but for me right now, I think the way it's looking, I'm looking at 3. But if God has other plans, then yeah. That is something else, but 3 right now is what I am hoping to have. Okay, the next question is, this one is hair related. Can you please cut my hair? Girl, of course I can. Actually, I was thinking about it, or I've been thinking about it these past few days, that I do, once this coronavirus, this quarantine, self-isolation thing is over, I do hope and plan on providing more hair-related services, like hair consultations, like, you know, anything natural hair-related, basically. So I'll be more than happy. I will be more than happy to do that. The next question is also hair-related. Says, I cut my hair really short and I want to grow it natural. Any hair tips for the stage I am in right now? Since you've just cut your hair and all that, this is the best time to look after it really well. One of the things that I recommend doing is find a product. I can help you with that. Find a product that helps, know what your hair type is, maintain it, wash it regularly, keep it moisturized, keep it hydrated, drink lots of water, Don't do any silly things like I did. I am happy to work with you. I can provide you with a hair growth one-on-one consultation where we can go through different things like your hair type, different products that you can use, different techniques, different things that you can do, how to sleep, how to protect your hair, all that, how to moisturize, how to how to do anything really, so that you can see as much growth and health as possible, especially at this stage of your hair, because I feel like this is the best time. If there's a time where your hair should be healthy or start growing or start seeing new growth or as more growth than ever before, I believe this is the time. And let me know if you're interested for me to work with you one-on-one, and we can work through those things and just see what steps to take for you to be able to achieve whatever hair goals you have currently. Favorite football team? Guys, if you know me, I have never really been a soccer fan. For this question, I had to ask my husband. I had to ask my husband. Basically, we used to actually watch soccer together. You know, we used to watch soccer together, like all those live games and stuff, but it's been a while. So I asked him what our favorite team is. Yeah, so our favorite team is Chelsea. And according to my husband, we've followed them for 12 to 13 years. So we've been fans for 12 to 13 years. I haven't actually been with my husband for 12 to 13 years, but he started then and I just tagged in, I just joined. Next question. Actually, I have two questions based on the same thing. One is, when's baby number 2 coming? And the other one is, when should we expect the next baby to come? Okay. Guys. Yo, guys, these questions though. Now, to answer that question, baby number 2 is coming. Baby number 2 is actually cooking right now. I know a lot of you have been wondering. So for those of you that have been asking the question but not bold enough to ask, here's your answer. And for those of you that were bold enough to ask, well, there it is. Baby number 2 is coming pretty soon. That's all I have to say. How do you manage a busy life, your hair routine, a toddler, and all you do, and still look really good? Okay, for this one, especially now, like right now, with self-isolation and quarantine and all that, what I do, or what really helps me as a mom, a toddler mom to be precise, is having a daily routine. So basically in the morning when I wake up, I pray and do my devotions and stuff, and then I go through what my day, like my daily schedule, my routine, which I have like on a page, like in a journal. It tells me what's on for that particular day. And so yeah, just having a schedule, having a routine, and also I journal every time. For example, during the day when I find out that I have an appointment, I schedule it in. Even with my wash days and stuff, like when I have to wash my hair, I have a schedule as to when I have to wash it. I don't just wake up randomly and think, oh my gosh, my hair is messy, my hair is dirty, and I'm going to wash it today. No, I have set days where my day has to be washed, and for a set time. I guess being so busy and stuff, it's easy to get worn out and also relent on taking care of yourself. So I just make myself available and intentional when it comes to taking care of myself, because you can get caught up looking after everyone else, looking after the husband, looking after the child or the children, but you have to be intentional in taking care of yourself. If it means, you know, setting a few minutes aside to do your nails, then you do that. Setting a few minutes aside to read a book, then you do that. Setting a few minutes aside to pamper yourself, like do a facial, then you do that. Or to go and get your nails done at a hair salon, you do that. So you have to pencil everything in and have a schedule that is realistic. Leave room for the possibility that your schedule may not go to plan, you know what I mean? So don't be too hard on yourself either if something fails or if something does not go to plan. But either way, my day, like when I look at my schedule and how my day has gone, even though there are a few things that may not go to plan, I look at it and I'm like, yeah, I can tick off a lot of the things that I had planned, and so I am fine with that. So that's that. How to transition from a period of singleness to godly relationship. For me, I'll say this based on my personal experience. I guess when I started courting my husband, I was in a position where I wasn't looking to be in a relationship, so I just set myself to focus on my relationship with God, to focus on my personal growth. So I wanted to grow deeper in the Word of God. I wanted to pray more. I wanted to just grow as a person, grow, spiritually, grow my relationship with God, grow closer to God. And so when you focus on that, when you start learning and asking God to reveal who you are, to start asking God to reveal exactly to you who you are, and also who you are in Christ, you'll develop a strong character, and that's going to prepare you to accept yourself. Being single, I think it's something that you shouldn't think about too much. And also knowing yourself, knowing the things you like, knowing the things that you dislike, taking care of yourself and loving yourself, so that even in your brokenness, even in your faults, even in your flaws, you're able to appreciate the person that you are, so that you won't go looking for perfection or for those things that are missing from you in someone else. Yes, so that you're not setting unrealistic expectations in somebody who is also not perfect, and who, once you meet them, is also going to fall short. And then when you have all these expectations, and then you have this person who is imperfect, from whom you're expecting all these things from, when they fall short, you're like, oh my gosh, what have I done? This is not meant to be. This is not the person I am meant to be with. But when you know who you are, and you know what to expect and what not to expect in a person, when you do meet that person, everything's just gonna, it'll fall into place. It'll not be perfect. At times it'll be, shaky moments. But when the person is there and it's the right person that God sent, you will know. Just like you, who is imperfect and bringing baggage into a relationship, this person will also be bringing their baggage of their own. So they come with their own experiences, they come with their own way of upbringing. The way they were brought up may be different to the way you were brought up. All these things factor into how a relationship, or how long a relationship will last when you do get into that relationship. And while you're single, there are so many things that you can do to prepare for the relationship that you're about to get in, the God-given relationship that will lead to courtship, that will lead to marriage, and so on and so forth. Some of these things that you need to prepare before you enter that relationship is knowing your faults. Know yourself, literally know the things that tick you off. One of the biggest questions you have to ask yourself is, what am I looking for? What am I looking for in a partner? What am I looking for in a girl? What am I looking for in a guy? If you vice versa. What qualities do I want them to have? All these things matter a lot. Knowing your strengths, knowing your weaknesses will also help. And also just look around, look at some of the relationships that you look up to. For example, if it's your parents, or if it's your auntie or your uncle, or if it's a friend, if you look up to them, just if you're bold enough to go and ask them questions, feel free. But even just from afar, what are some of the things you see in them, you see in their marriage or relationship that inspire you? The next question is godly relationships advice, singleness, navigating the whole vows over cows thing. Oh my gosh, guys, this has been a topic, especially among some of my friends and also a few people that I know on social media. Guys, the whole dowry thing, oh, it has broken so many people. But what I think of it, I'm more than happy to also cover this in a separate video, but just briefly, I do not agree with what some of these cultures of ours do, you know, with the whole dowry thing. A lot of people get carried away, especially when you're living in the Western culture. Life is different, times are different now as well. I mean, you know, the people, or like the newlywed couple, they have to look forward to a life. I mean, yeah, they have to look forward to a life that they're about to live. A lot of people are digging deep into their pockets because they have to satisfy a ritual. They have to satisfy what the culture says. They have to do it for the culture, you know. And so a lot of people start marriage, start living together in debt. And I am not, guys, it's a no-no for me. This thing brings separation, you know, among couples, separation among families. It's brought division, you know, between parents and their kids, division between even the people who are meant to be getting married, because, you know, this person has been asked this much and they can't afford it, and then there's humiliation, and then there's all that. But it's a problem. It's a problem in our culture that has to be addressed. Advice for what we can do now to be able to create a healthy marriage. Yeah, that depends. I think I sort of covered this in one of the questions that I answered before. But there are so many things that you can do, you know, working on yourself, whether you're single or even when you're in a relationship or marriage. Yeah, if you're in a relationship, like if you're at the courting stage, or just if you're at the courting stage, you know, engaged and all that, you do have to realize that there is life beyond the wedding day. A lot of people spend so much time preparing for the wedding day, not realizing that, oh my gosh, there's a whole life to be lived after that. You know, there's this new person that you have to face every day. You have to wake up to every single morning. You have to compromise to. You have to love unconditionally. You have to forgive. You have to communicate well. So there's so many things that you can do. You know, you have to look forward to just the wedding day. For me, as I was courting, I was engaged and preparing for my marriage, I used to pray to God that, God, please make my marriage more beautiful than my wedding day. Of course, I prepared for a very beautiful wedding day, but I used to pray and ask God to prepare my heart, to prepare my character, you know, as a woman, so that my marriage, you know, I'll be able to do things, I'll be able to serve my husband in a way that is worthwhile, and also contribute to my marriage in the long run. My marriage in the days to come to be more beautiful than the wedding day, you know, the fairy tale, the white dress, the all that. So one of the things you have to talk about with your partner, your spouse to be, is expectations. Because there was this thing where I read once that the biggest killer of marriages in our current society is not money or lack of sex, but rather unmet expectations. And when I read that, I was like, oh my gosh, you know, you have this person who is just as flawed as you are, and you can't just heap all these expectations on them, because what happens is they'll always fall short, you know. So expectations, so always talk about those expectations, you know, even before you get into marriage. Know what you want, know where you want to be, how many kids you want. Talk about finances, talk about what you like, what your likes and dislikes are, you know. Talk about intimacy, talk about you know, even things as far as whether you want your spouse to have friends of the opposite sex, or whether your spouse want, you know, vice versa. Set goals together, establish certain traditions, and know some of the things that are important to the both of you, you know, traditions that you want to be celebrating, things that you want to be celebrated for. Communication, guys. Communication is like the most important thing. If you lack communication in your marriage, that marriage is set to fail. I'm not even joking, guys. Communication is the most important thing. And also know how you communicate, know how your partner communicates, and just work out ways to better, you know, to work out ways and areas in which you need to improve or you feel need work. Set good habits together. Work as a team. Remember, you are a team. You are no longer your own person. I mean, you are your own person, but you have to factor in this whole new person. When I talked about expectations, I forgot to mention the fact that you guys have to talk about what your living expectations will be like, because guys, you have this person that you have to live with that you've never lived with, and they come with their own habits, they come with their own things that they do. You probably have never seen something done that way. And then, you know, so you have to talk about all these things, talk about what living expectations are, and that can cover a lot of things. The next question I got is how to identify who you can bring as an accountability partner for mentorship in godly relationships. So for this question, I would say that you have to know what you want. When you identify this person or these people that you want to bring as mentors, accountability party in this relationship, you have to know or have an idea of what they can bring to the table and what you can bring to the table. If it's someone who's going to push you, for example, if it's a mentor, are they going to help you? Are they going to encourage you? In what areas of life do you plan to grow? Growth is like a blank statement, you know what I mean? And there are so many areas in which you can grow, even spiritually. In what area of your spirituality do you want to grow? How is this person going to help you? Are they going to push you? Are they going to encourage you? Are they going to, you know, call you, for example? Will they make time? You know, you have to be able to bring something to the table, and they have to be able to bring something to the table. If it's the other way around, where you are the mentor, for example, this person that you're mentoring has to be able to also challenge you, bring something to the table, challenge you, so that you too, as a person, as a mentor, will be able to grow, so that you'll have something more to give, you know what I mean? And also just look at the person's personal walk with God. How is their relationship, just from what you see outside? Are they close to God? Are they strong in their pursuit for a relationship with God? Basically what I'm saying is you have to study the person and just look at things like, is this person willing to walk this walk with me? You know, are they going to follow up? Are they going to also pursue this relationship and let it evolve? Are they going to commit to the process? You know, and not just once they get too busy, just give up because they have better things to do. But you have to also be active in pursuing that relationship by taking an active role, and not just expecting this person to do everything because they are your mentor, and so you have all these expectations. Pretty much like any other relationship, there has to be a give and take, not just give from one party. So both of you, both the mentor and the mentee, have to be able to benefit from this partnership, if I may say. So guys, that is it from me. There's so much to these questions that I can just keep going on and on, but for the sake of time, I will stop here. I am more than happy to cover these topics in separate videos or in a different video, or if you guys have more questions that you want to ask, please feel free. But for now, guys, thank you so much for joining me in this video. I hope you enjoyed it and got to know a little bit about me. But for now, thank you so much for tuning in. Let me know what you think in the comment section below, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.